We welcome you back, 8:13 on this Independence Day, 4th of July. Gorgeous looks downtown. Of course, we had a wet spring. Things are drying out, lots of sunshine. Certainly was not the case 20 years ago.
Did they actually put Fair St. Louis on the back burner?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
It was the 100-year flood. I mean, you know, living here in the Midwest, we get kind of used to that, but not like that. 1993 was different.
It is the benchmark by which all others are now measured. On the 20th anniversary of the Great Flood of '93, we take a look back.
Really see the water moving. That's a great shot.
Under cover of darkness on July 30th, 1993, the Monarch levee failed, and the Missouri River began taking over Chesterfield Valley.
The officers will be working in 12-hour shifts as long as they're needed.
Daybreak turned fears into reality, revealing a graphic picture of the devastation. Some 250 businesses underwater. Highway 40 shut down. Car dealer Lou Fuse expected about 3 feet of water.
Actually, right now, it's about 15 feet over the shoulder.
There they got it. They have lifted the man out.
A dramatic water rescue was caught on camera. Just one of many dramatic moments in an unforgettable summer.
And it rained for a real long time.
Torrential rains in spring and early summer of '93 set the stage, pounding ground already saturated from a wet fall and winter. The water had nowhere to go but into the rivers and streams, which flowed through and eventually into our towns.
I've never seen a river this high.
No one expected this amount of water.
Words heard often that summer as the Mississippi surged into Winfield and neighboring towns, and into Grafton, where the Great Flood covered the Great River Road like never before.
This is too much hardship for people to go through time and again.
The swollen Missouri and Mississippi rivers overlapped and inundated Portage de Sioux. The only way in was by boat, and that wasn't always easy, as my photographer and I learned when we got caught in a storm offshore. Sandbag lines were a common sight, people working shoulder to shoulder to protect their properties and their towns.
It's hot, it's heavy, but it feels good because you know you're helping your neighbor.
There were a lot of everyday heroes, but also a few villains after the Missouri River ravaged this mobile home park in St. Charles.
So are you worried about looting or?
Yeah, we know there's people looting. My husband and my brothers caught them.
And a man went to prison for deliberately punching a hole in a levee in West Quincy, Missouri. 14,000 acres of farmland went under. Emotions ran the gamut, from fear of uncertainty to the certainty of tremendous loss. This couple's home was wiped out in West Alton.
I guess you're only given what you can take. But after a while, you get to where you can't take anymore.
Flood walls protected downtown St. Louis as the Mississippi rose to a record crest of 49.6 feet, nearly 20 feet above flood stage. The National Weather Service reported the flow was so fast it would fill up the then bowl-shaped Busch Stadium in 69 seconds.
It's mean. I mean, it's relentless. It just keeps coming and keep coming and keep coming.
The high water backed up tributaries, allowing the river to pair to become a raging river, challenging city workers and volunteers as they battled to force it back behind the sandbags. Hundreds of levees were topped or destroyed in the flood. One break sent the Mississippi surging through Valmeyer, Illinois. Those floodwaters then headed south, flowing parallel to the Mississippi, taking aim at Prairie du Rocher. As the sandbag town waited, the Corps of Engineers gambled, gouging a hole in the Mississippi River levee to allow the floodwaters to run back into the river. It worked. And more good news across the river in St. Genevieve. The huge sandbag levees built by city workers, residents, and volunteers kept most of their town dry and saved its prized collection of centuries-old French colonial buildings.
You get tired of waking up and seeing water every day. You just wish it would just go away.
And it eventually did, leaving behind quite a mess and quite a lot of memories.
Wow, that was Fox 2's Tom O'Neill reporting. And we have much more on our website on the 20th anniversary of the Great Flood of '93 at fox2now.com. And just a few of the changes that we've seen in the past 20 years. The Monarch Levee has been built bigger and stronger, but then Chesterfield Valley is more populated than ever. Lee May now has green space where many of those flooded homes were. And Valmeyer, Illinois, we were just talking about that, literally moved the entire town to higher ground. St. Genevieve, Missouri has since built a brand new levee to protect the town.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time down in Prairie du Rocher.
Yeah.
Back then we just called it Rocher. Got to know all the people, and it went through separation anxiety after it was all over.
Yeah, well, you
made
become
a lot of friends. And
we do have a lot of Fox 2 reporters, many of whom are still working here since then, sharing their memories of the Great Flood of '93, and we invite you to do the same.